Welcome back, everyone. If this is your first time coming to my channel, I welcome you. Please consider subscribing, clicking the little bell, liking, and commenting. It'll be your way of showing me that you want me to put out some more videos, and also to get the videos out to more people so they can see. I recently did a video like 40 minutes ago on OMG. It actually is breaking out right now, so when you see this video, if you haven't seen that other video, check out my channel and come here and take a look at this. You should still wait for confirmation, and you should wait for additional volume, but it is breaking out of the triangle that I talk about in this video. Alright, so I'm going to follow up with some more review of some charts that we have going here. Going back to the big four, so to speak. Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. So let's get the gorilla that's in the room done first. So as you may or may not have heard already, I'm sure you have if you're following other people on YouTube and Twitter, Cardano is being added to Coinbase. So there was a big spur and interest when that announcement came out because there's a whole bunch of new people that may have not been able to buy Cardano that's now going to be capable of buying Cardano, and at $1, and so someone with their stimulus check might decide to buy Cardano instead of a $50,000 plus Bitcoin. They could buy like 1,200 or 1,400 Cardano, a little bit less now since it moved up, but they might consider that a better buy than buying a fraction of a Bitcoin. So with the new customer base and the stimulus checks that are coming, I think big momentum happening for Cardano. Now, there is a lot of volume here, so the breakout is confirmed. Now we just have to kind of break through these thresholds. So you saw here, I kind of drew possible area of interest, and you can see that was an area where price kind of stalled out a little bit. So depending on where you got in on trade, if you got in a trade or you're waiting for it to come back and confirm, this is certainly, if you're in already, this is an area you might want to consider scaling out. This is the next one that you could probably see some resistance with price action. And finally, of course, the overall previous peak is going to be another area. So be smart about your risk management. If you took the trade down here, again, I say it in every video, but I'm going to say it again just so that you guys don't forget. You would have put your stop loss somewhere underneath this trend line. Now that it's up here and it's kind of pivoted, you might want to consider bringing it up a little closer, or maybe don't get so aggressive because you want to give it some breathing room. But certainly if it breaks above this and comes down and checks it and then goes, you want to bring it up here somewhere underneath that pivot. So as price action moves up, continue moving up your stop losses so you become at least break even, so you can't lose any money, and then slowly increase it to lock in guaranteed profits. So don't get greedy. There'll always be another trade, unless you're a long-term holder. Just be smart. Momentum here with the Coinbase listing, it could probably add, they typically say like 20 to 30% to the price. So it's already added about 20%. So just be careful. Again, there's going to be a little bit of momentum coming here later in the week and over the weekend. So just be smart on your targets. If you double if it doubles to 2, consider taking out what you put in and letting the rest ride if you want to hold it longer term. But never be upset about locking in profits. Until you actually lock in your profit and you either withdraw it or you at least have it into a stable coin, it's not a profit. It's just unrealized gain. So again, don't be afraid to take profits. Profits are going to allow you to compound your account. 20-30% at a time here. It sounds like a little in crypto world, but in the normal markets, 20 or 30%, you're lucky you get that in a whole year, and we're doing this in a couple days. So just keep that in mind. The level of profit that you're going to get here. So again, just be careful. All right, so next one, Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin kind of bounced off exactly where I said it would. Approximately like 53,000 was what I mentioned in my last video. But you can see it actually touched almost exactly, the exact price of the 0.55, and it's so far it's bounced off. Now our immediate hurdle to get past is this resistance area. Hopefully it doesn't stop it from coming back up. But the more important one is this this hurdle right here of the all-time high. So this is the first one we got to break through. But you can kind of see how it reacted to the 0.55 and these fib lines. It came down at wick, but it closed above it. So this is kind of like a support line. So kind of like a trend line, you could consider it. So again, like I said, the next major hurdles is like the 50 between 57.8 and the wicks 83. So cut the difference, probably about 58 is really where we got to get past and close above, and hopefully do what I had here, what I show here. Oh, thought I could move this, but maybe not. Or can I? Yeah. So maybe now we'll do what I was saying we would do earlier, where it just kind of crashed right through because of that sale by the Gemini transfer of money, and then the Ethereum sell and the Ethereum volume. All that caused this crash, and it's just manipulation. There's nothing we can do about it. Just gotta make sure we play, like I said in the last chart that we just reviewed. Just gotta make sure we do proper risk management. We gotta put stop losses in. Of course, unfortunately, Bitcoin is crazy with the way it swings, so it's tough to put the stop loss in, because you don't want to get you don't want a stop hunt to get you out. If you can afford the swings and you're not trading on leverage, or if you're using leverage, use low leverage so you can weather the swings that Bitcoin will show us over and over again. So just be careful. It looks, like I said, the next hurdle we have to get through, and we're probably going to get some momentum coming in here with the stimulus checks. My mom got notified that she'll get hers on the 17th from the bank, so they're going to start rolling out in the next day or so. And I think I heard some other articles saying on the 17th as well. So we're probably tomorrow sometime, we're probably going to see some momentum. So just be ready. All right, next one. Ethereum. All right, we're still tracking inside this 4-hour triangle. So it's kind of riding up this pitchfork line right now, and we're gonna have a decision point soon here. Some good news, like with the scaling and things that are happening with Ethereum, and maybe with the stimulus checks, we're going to see a push. Although I want to mention, it's actually showing up a little bit on the two of the charts. It's not formed yet, but again, just like I mentioned the other day, there is a double top, an M, and also if another shoulder pops up, this becomes a head and shoulders, and then with that, we take that distance right there, and that if it breaks down, this is the target based on this head. So just be ready for that. Keep an eye on it. See if we're gonna break past this 1879, or if it's gonna be another peak and it's gonna start coming down again. Unfortunately, we might see a breakdown. Breakout of this triangle and then down. So we'll have to figure out as that's approaching where the price targets could be, but you got to take the base of this, and it's pretty substantial from what I remember here. Let's just use this for now. Just kind of take an angle here. So if it breaks down somewhere where this shoulder appears here. Yeah. it's suggesting we can go as low as 1,000, which I really don't see it happening. But you do have to account for the pattern. So just be ready. Be ready for it to go up or go down if you start seeing another shoulder here again. But you saw earlier, we saw that pattern in the Bitcoin. Let's go back to it real quick. We saw that pattern back here, and we thought it might break down. You know, there's a left shoulder, head shoulder, right shoulder, and we thought it would break down, and it went up. So just because it's forming doesn't mean it plays out. You know, like I said, triangle patterns are a lot more high probability than the head and shoulders. And you know, you could kind of see the same thing happening here. Like Bitcoin and Ethereum are kind of following each other. You know, unfortunately, this check could be the fail. So it could go down when it does this right shoulder over here. It's not exactly a head and shoulder, but it's kind of there. So I just want to bring it up that don't be blind to the fact that it could come back down, and just be ready. When I see another pattern forming within here, you know, right now this pattern that we had drawn here earlier is still in play. You know, if this pattern is going to complete itself, the price is going to come up to 68 or 67, somewhere up in this area. So that's still in play. So price can come up either to this target or a little higher to complete this pattern. And then from there, the pattern is, you know, 32% down off of that swing. You know, this swing that goes all the way up here. You know, it could come back down here again and maybe check this level out, or the 61.8. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of selling pressure when it hits the 68 target that a lot of people are talking about, and they're coming up with it in different ways. But if this pattern actually completes and becomes valid, you know, this pattern is just not, this is not complete yet until price action comes up in here. So once that happens, there is a negative bias that, you know, targets of 38.2 and 61.8, you know, this is target 1 and target 2 on this retrace down off this bigger pivot. So just keep that in mind. Again, just like everything else, you got to kind of just sit back and wait and see what happens here. That's where we are with this. I think we're going to see some positive momentum with all the stimulus check stuff coming out. You never know, though. You know, just because it happened the last 2 times, you know, high probability happen again. But you know what? When you think it's obvious, a lot of times it does the opposite of what you think. So just be careful. All right, next one. Ethereum, I think that's the one we were actually on. We talked about that already. I just went back to the Bitcoin to show you that similar type pattern within a pattern is kind of developing here, just to keep an eye on that. And then finally, Chainlink, same kind of thing. It's still within, its triangle here. As I mentioned yesterday or in the last video, you know, final decision points are coming soon. You know, as it approaches this upward going pitchfork line, it's got to decide if it's going to follow it up or it's going to break down. And for sure, at these points right here, this point, even this point, you might see some action. So within, this is the 4-hour chart, within the next 8 to 12 hours, you might see some action here, and then down the road, you know, going into the weekend and Friday, something might happen here. And for sure, right over here where the two pitchforks cross in different directions, price action's got to decide if it's going to follow this one down or if it's going to continue following it up. If it follows it up, there might be a breakout of this pattern. If it follows it down, sooner or later it's going to break out probably to the downside here, or it could just make these pitchforks not valid anymore. So pitchforks have limited life. They do very well for an extended period of time, but at some point you have to kind of take a step back and look at the new pivots and draw new ones to the most recent price action. So, you know, there is some reactions to the older ones, but you always have to kind of continue looking at these charts, and when new ones appear, kind of go with the newer ones and let the older ones settle into the sunset, so to speak. So anyway, that's where we are with this. It's within a triangle pattern. It's, you know, it's been following this downward pitchfork, but it has the capability of changing and following the upward direction. And as we start seeing a pivot, you know, this might become a new pitchfork in the upward direction that we might have to look at, and then you know, take a step back, take a look at the broader picture and see where we are. And you know, actually in here we're still developing a bigger triangle within a triangle. So there's a little triangle here, but there's a bigger one kind of forming on the daily scale. So you know, things like right here, this cross right here is going to be a bigger decision depending on what happens with this price action in here. If nothing, this might be the 80% of this bigger one that's going to also contain a breakout either up or down. I personally don't see Link breaking down, but again, look, I mean, it's come down here. Now, volume is very low right now, so till we see some volume peaking like this or peaking like this, that's a confirmation that price action is going to move. Again, this is a lower price crypto, and it's part of the, you know, the top 4 that people talk about. So you know, when these stimulus checks start coming out, people might consider buying Chainlink because it's only $28 and not $54,000. You know, so I mentioned that in the earlier charts here, that Cardano is only in the dollar range. So as much as Bitcoin is the, you know, the store of value and the first to market and the king of cryptos, people may rather have more quantity than quality. Even though all of these are quality, so I shouldn't really say that. It's just they're going to think that, okay, I have 1,400 or 1,000 ADA and I can't even buy like a fraction of a Bitcoin, or I could buy maybe 10, like 30 Link, and maybe I could just about get 1 Ethereum, whereas I'll just have 0.0 whatever, 0.01 Bitcoin or 0.02 Bitcoin. So something to consider. Just kind of sit back and let the price action show their hands and see what's happening here. Just be ready for the momentum once money starts hitting the exchanges. I expect that tomorrow with all the different banks sending out alerts that IRS is going to be releasing funds on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. You probably will see a bunch of people logging into Coinbase and starting their deposits. And you know, you could buy coins without the deposit clearing. Clearing usually takes three days for an ACH, but they immediately typically allow you to buy the coin right away. So even though it's going to take 3 days for that money to clear, people are going to go and directly buy the coins right away, you know, just to get in because they want to get in. So all right. So that's it for this video. I'll probably try and do one more video with another set of coins here for the night, and then we'll call it an evening, and I'll put out some immediate videos if I see something happening with an individual chart. Oh, just to show you real quick, here's the OMG. Remember, I just made a video about a little bit over an hour or so ago, and right after I did it, came out. Now it's kind of like going into that check, so might be getting ready to move upward if the momentum stays, depending on what Bitcoin does. Again, Bitcoin is the kind of the first mover, right? So a lot of these are following in the wake of what Bitcoin does. So keep an eye on Bitcoin. Keep an eye on this. It broke out, somewhat testing. You still have 30 something minutes, so there's a chance that this price action comes above again and the wick is only inside the triangle. And if that's the case, then this is a confirmed support for this on this trend line, and probability says it's going to go up. So I didn't talk about it. Let's just do it real quick. I didn't throw out a target price based on this pattern, so let's just do that for you real quick in this video. So if it ends up holding, and so we could look at a 950 against the Bitcoin. This will be possible. Let's draw a little triangle up here. So that would be the target of this breakout. So just again, I'll just put a timestamp on this saying that this is like an update to OMG. But you got to realize it's got to get past this previous peak here. So if you're in a trade, you know, you might want to consider take some as it's approaching this, and then leave some from here. Move up your stop losses appropriately as it goes higher, comes up. Right now you have a stop loss somewhere over here. If it comes up here and checks and continues up, then you want to move your stop loss here. When this happens here and this checks and goes up, then you want to move your stop loss here. So right now your stop loss is in a negative. Once this price action moves away, you want to make this to break even. You want to go break even as soon as possible. So you have a no risk trade. I can't write. Let me get rid of this. Let me not even try. This is the goal of any trade. Do your risk management so that when prices move away, you're breaking even, and at that point you can let it breathe as much as you want. If you want to risk letting it go higher, 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 and if it turns around, you're going to get out and you're not going to lose any money, but you won't make any money, and not losing any money is making money. So always consider that, and not taking a trade is also making money, because that trade could have gone bad for you if it's not 100% in your trading plan. So if all your requirements are met, take the trade. If you have doubt, stand out, take the bench and wait for the next one. There's always going to be, as you can see here, I'm putting out tons of different videos for tons of different cryptos. So there's always going to be the next trade. So don't chase a trade. Don't chase the money. Don't get greedy. Be smart about risk management. Chip away at the profits. 10%, 5%, you know, you don't even make that in a couple years in a bank account. So don't get greedy. Just chip away, and over time you're going to create an account that's going to be life-changing to you. But you got to keep your head straight. You got to keep your mindset straight, and you got to just not go for the home runs, because the home runs will kill you. So of course you want to have the long-term holds, and those are the home runs that you'll have. But by doing these short trades here, that's how you're developing that Bitcoin and those other coins to put in your long-term hold. So you're trading daily, getting in and getting out to create more money to buy those longer-term holds, so you don't miss those big runs when you're trying to trade and you're out of a trade, and that you go to sleep and you wake up the next day and it's gone up 100% without you knowing. That's what the long-term holds that you have, which is a separate portfolio from your trading account, that you should be holding so that you don't miss those big runs. You know, as they say, Bitcoin, most of the runs happen within a 4 or 5 day period. It's not, you know, if you're a trader and you're just in and out and you're not holding some kind of big picture, longer term Bitcoin portfolio, you have a high probability of missing that big run that, you know, and then if you get in, if you're trading, then you're going to always doubt, like, all right, am I getting in on the high? Am I getting in on the high? Am I getting on the high? So again, have your long-term portfolio, have your trading portfolio. Don't get married or connected to any single trade or coin, you know, in your trading account. Just do methodical in and out trade. Set your parameters, get in and get out. Don't get hung up on loving the coin and wanting to hold it forever. That's not what the trading account's about. So that should be your long-term portfolio. If you really have a coin that you really believe in, then you should be slowly trying to build a longer-term portfolio for that purpose. All right, guys, enough talking. Look for another video. I'm not sure exactly what coins I'll be doing it on, but look for another video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Consider subscribing to my channel, liking, sharing, commenting. The more likes I get, the more videos I'll do. So please like the video, please share it and put it out there so other people can see it. And again, just remember, this is an educational channel. This is not a signals channel. It's just a way I'm trying to help you develop your trading strategy, and realize that you have to come back and you got to continually look at these charts. You know, price action changes, and you got to be nimble with the price action to say, don't get like, I'm not, you know, I'm always bearish or I'm always bullish. I mean, you got to realize it could be bearish. You just don't take the trade, right? But you got to realize both directions in any of these cryptos, and it can happen overnight. We've seen it many times where there's manipulation that comes in. So you got to do risk management. Don't over leverage your account. I can't say it enough. I don't want to preach to you guys, but telling you from lessons learned and from experience, you gotta take the small wins over and over and over again, and you're gonna end up doing better than trying to go for the home runs. All right, take care, guys.